guys, what is up? It's AJAlkaline and I wanted to tell you that you are amazing. You are amazing. Enjoy this video. Hey guys, what is up? It's AJAlkaline back with another video, and today I am reacting to an SCP compilation list. So what is this? This is the top 22 scariest SCPs. This is a list compiled of several SCPs that are the scariest ones. And since I love SCP games, I really love the SCP universe, I'm going to react to this video.
Beats in this video are classified names or locations that are withheld from public hearing and are therefore edited for legal reasons from the SCP agency. In association with the SCP website, secure, contain, protect.
Protect. Oh my god.
This video contains disturbing content, violent content, scary content, flashing lights and sudden loud noises. Viewer discretion advised.
Holy shit, that robot. It's pretty cool.
The SCP Foundation is an organization of numerous doctors, researchers, and agents aiming to understand and catalog anomalous objects and keep them from getting into the wrong hands.
SCP objects are classified into three main categories of safety.
Whoa. Okay, before we go on, I want to say that this is already incredibly professional. This isn't from a game. I don't think this is from a game. This is like fan-made footage. Or real footage, if SCPs are real. Okay.
Safe are understood objects which can be left alone with no major consequences. Euclid are not well understood objects which may cause containment breaches if not actively watched. And Keter are dangerous objects that will break containment and do harm unless they are surveyed 24/7 and may cause an end of the world scenario.
End of the world. Holy shit. I'm really excited.
SCP-1351. Object Class Euclid. SCP-1351 is a cave located within the Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky. Interestingly enough, this cave in no way follows the rules of gravity, space, nor time, as the warp tunnel beneath the sanctuary of the Earth's surface wraps around itself to form its own gravitational point. Basically, the floor begins to twist, and the one rock wall twists alongside it, reassuming positions parallel to its original location. It's been reported that the gravity within the cave depends on the situation and angle of the floor. The cave enters with a hole in the ceiling, which is unusual in comparison to the majority of the caves in the national park. However, the temporal anomalies within the cave itself has gained the most attention, as no one can give logical reason to explain why they happen or how they happen. A standard perimeter fence and signs warning away unauthorized personnel, and the access road to the entrance of SCP-1351 is marked authorized vehicles only, to match nearby park roads which are not open to the general public.
This is
the permanent
really
security
professional.
team are the United States National Park Rangers and civilian speleologists. SCP-1351 was most recently discovered in 1995 by National Park Service speleologists, mapping the cavern to determine if it connected to the main cave system in the park. 3 expedition teams surveyed the interior between 1995 and 2002, determining the cavern to be sufficiently safe for a permanent research presence. Research operations are still ongoing.
Subtitles enabled. SCP subtitles. Wow, that's a pretty weird SCP then. Pretty weird.
SCP-049.
049.
Object Class Euclid. SCP-049 is another humanoid character who, in addition to his mask, wears a black hooded robe, replicating that of which worn by plague doctors in 16th century Europe. Further studies reveal that his clothing is actually a part of SCP-049's physical figure, and although it feels like leather,
It's
it is
looking at the
actually
camera.
the same material as its muscle tissue.
What?
049's touch is invariably lethal to humans, causing the victim to suffer and then die. The plague doctor will dissect the body, injecting certain chemicals into the victim. After a period of a few minutes, the victim will resume vital signs and appear to reanimate. However, it seems completely without higher brain functions,
No
and
shit.
will wander aimlessly until it encounters another living human. At that point, the adrenaline and endorphin levels increase to approximately 300%, as it will attempt to kill any human beings it can find, before returning to its mindless state and wandering until it comes across more humans. Detailed autopsies of 049's victims have found several unusual substances within the body, including and in the sternum region. However, several have yet to be identified and remain classified. The behavior of SCP-049 is unpredictable, and although it doesn't seem too menacing, the physical appearance is far from inviting. SCP-049 is held in a research sector heavily guarded and monitored at all times. It's been noted the SCP is capable of speech, as noted in one of the interviews held by Dr.
Oh
Now
shit!
playing
Even
audio
audio
log
log.
2957.
Wow.
What is this place?
What? It's a
laboratory. It is quite marvelous. I now find it no wonder I've seen so few victims of the disease in here.
Yeah. You see, I thought you incapable of speech. I'm somewhat startled you, can.
Oh my, yes, good sir, I simply prefer not to. Most victims of the disease are quite melancholy, and I do not react at all well to conversation. I've seen you several times now and have not detected the disease in you. Therefore I assume you are also a doctor.
Yes, actually. Call me but what disease are you talking about?
Why, good doctor, the great pestilence. What else?
The Great Plague.
Oh, the plague.
Yeah.
I should have seen that coming. But no one here is infected, I can assure you.
Oh, good doctor, I can assure you the pestilence is here, and I can sense it. It is my duty in life to rid the world of it. My cure is most effective.
Your
Yeah,
cure?
of course, when you kill someone.
Your cure has cost hundreds of lives. Your cure is faulty.
Good doctor, my cure is most effective.
Explain how it is effective. Answer me. Dr. acknowledges authorized personnel to report to Lab 15A immediately.
Weird
This
SCP,
interview is
man.
over. Subject refuses
Weird
to speak
SCP.
and will now be placed back into containment.
End of recording.
That's one weird SCP, man. Holy shit.
SCP-1382. Object Class Euclid.
This is very professionally made.
SCP-1382 is a Red Sea Mark water buoy floating on the surface of Lake Michigan. All air and sea traffic must be redirected away from containment site. Although SCP-1382 has taken a fair amount of structural damage during its lifetime, it still stands tall, occasionally flashing out the SOS distress signal in Morse code in 10-second intervals. This mysterious buoy is anchored to a downed airliner lying deep beneath the surface of the water named Flight 441. This derelict aircraft contains the skeletal remains of 56 passengers and crew members who begin to animate, obtaining their natural body temperature of 37.0 degrees Celsius as registered by thermal imaging scanners and assume into the crash position in their seats. After 13 seconds of activity, all instances of passengers turn to face SCP-1382. They remain in this position until SCP-1382 ceases its SOS, at which point they collapse and become inert. It has been reported that the passengers are distressed due to the accounts before the crash, as opposed to the crash itself, implying that every passenger is stuck in some kind of time loop.
That's freaking weird, dude. They're stuck in some time loop and they revive every time and then die every time. Holy shit.
Object class?
They should definitely go check inside
SCP-002 resembles a tumorous, fleshy growth with a volume of roughly 60 centimeter cubed. An iron valve hatch on one side leads to its interior, which appears to be a standard low-rent apartment of modest size. The interior of the fleshy sphere is decorated like a low-cost rented apartment, with furniture made up from biological matter, such as bone, hair, and more, all of which are from the human body. In addition to this, there is also a window to be found on the interior, though no such breach can be seen when trying to view from the exterior. All matter tested thus far show independent or fragmented DNA sequences from each object inside of the room. There have been 7 cases of Foundation personnel disappearing after entering this SCP for examination.
They died.
And roughly at the same time, new furniture could be found inside of the room, consisting of a lamp and some rugs. The furniture was, again, made up of the biological matter of the human body, presumably the biological matter of the 7 personnel that mysteriously disappeared.
That sucks.
As detailed in the archive under the Mulhausen report, SCP-002 was first discovered in a small crater in northern where it struck Earth from orbit in 1994.
Okay. Weird. SCP, definitely weird.
SCP-804. Object Class Keter.
World Ender.
SCP-804 is said to be the remnants of a sculpture found by a group of artists. Said sculpture consists of a model, transparent globe with a few smaller globes situated around it. Whilst the globes swivel on the axis that they were constructed on, any man-made material within a 100-meter radius, including the tissue of a human being, will gradually decay. When it comes to inanimate objects, such as clothes, buildings, or anything else of the sort, the speed of decay is slightly accelerated. Biologically speaking, however, the corrosion of the body is a great deal slower and requires a long period of exposure to cause any permanent or noteworthy damage. This mainly consists of loss of body mass and leaving with symptoms of severe starvation, but both of these aspects can be fixed with the correct amount of medical care. Exposed to whatever force this SCP admits for an extended period of time would cause the skeleton to collapse and inevitably lead to death. Tests have been carried out to see if the results obtained from the reaction with human matter would be the same as with animal matter, but to no avail. Because of the nature of SCP-804, it is not contained within any Foundation facility, believing the effects of the SCP its own containment and seriously compromise any other containment nearby. SCP-2998. Object Class Safe. SCP-2998 is an anomalous radio signal picked up from all quarters of the solar system. It's not yet known where the origin of this signal is, or when it began its transmission, but the SCP Foundation made it a point to prevent all personal radios from detecting and listening to SCP-2998 until further research is conducted into the safety of the signal, as well as its origin. SCP-2998 is just a consistent electromagnetic signal which previews white noise at all times. No means have been found to decode the signal until 2011, when the signal was also found to contain a video transmission of a humanoid entity floating aimlessly in a dark room.
That's Cell from Dragon Ball Z.
No background information has thus far been obtained about what this message could possibly mean, or why the message is being transmitted at all. But due to bodily gestures that the aforementioned humanoid was conducting, it can be presumed that whatever it was in clear physical distress. It was initially theorized that the Foundation may be picking up signals from a television show, though this was considered highly unlikely due to the random and complex encoding of the transmission. We simply do not know.
Whoever came up with all of these SCPs, you have an incredible imagination.
SCP-1875. Object Class Euclid.
I don't like this voice.
SCP-1875 is a Victorian-era chess machine consisting of a steel chessboard table, a drive shaft, a stationary steam engine, and a suit of 18th century samurai armor.
Huh?
However, the machine itself is powered by a biological system that controls a matrix of 64 electromagnets using an engine created from the combined brain tissue of the twin daughters of a Russian chess prodigy. A complete set of 32 pieces carved in the Oriental style from human bone, with each piece affixed to a thin 0.31 centimeter base pad of ferromagnetic iron. Effectively, the whole thing runs on the souls of the two little girls.
Come on.
It is said that the souls will perform illegal moves during a game and make illogical turns whilst playing. SCP-1875 containment permit no use of data network devices and a child psychologist to be present. The Euclid ranking of this SCP seems very appropriate, considering the fact that we do not fully understand how it works, nor why it works, nor what works within it. Only the premise is understood at this point.
That's just screwed up. That's just screwed up.
SCP-823. Object Class Euclid.
I like this.
SCP-823 is an abandoned amusement park located in a... It is responsible for the deaths of an unfathomably large amount of people, nicknamed Bloody Sunday, because of the 231 people dying in the theme park due to the accidents of staff members and customers alike. The majority of these deaths were horrifically violent. Some examples include a mascot found dead of suffocation, a group of people found decapitated on a roller coaster, a couple fused together on a ride, and a mutilated man found in the Hall of Mirrors. Foundation personnel are found surveying the area, and are instructed to avoid an area known as the Red Zone. The Red Zone is an area where no one can enter, not even by those of the highest authority. It isn't stated as to why the Red Zone cannot be accessed, but it does claim that anyone who attempts to enter will be terminated by sniper fire.
What?
Should music or piping be heard emanating from within the Red Zone, Foundation personnel on site are immediately prepared to use protective earplugs and withdraw from their positions to a 2-kilometer period beyond the currently established Yellow Zone and inform Foundation scientific personnel immediately.
That's really screwed up. That sucks. Oh, wow. Wow. Going to a theme park. Yay.
SCP-1981.
Next time you go to a theme
Object
park,
class,
think of that SCP.
SCP-1981, or commonly referred to as Ronald Reagan cut up whilst talking, is a strange, distorted videotape of Ronald Reagan making his evil empire speech. The tape itself is made from all the normal materials that you would expect to get from a Betamax tape. The tape was originally encountered by a filing clerk in the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in 1991, 11 years after this original speech was made. During the tape, Reagan's face seems to fall apart, cuts opening up on his face and eyes becoming bruised. The video continues until his vocal cords are severed. Occasionally, during the beginning of the tape, a figure clothed in black robes and a pointed hood appears in the background, which replaces another member of the press detail. SCP-1981 is kept inside of a secure video storage unit in the media archive of Site.
That's weird. Let's just
Years
play
of
with
natural
it.
magnetic interference have severely degraded SCP-1981's signal quality, making it even more difficult to sift meaningful information from continued playbacks. SCP-342. Object Class Euclid. SCP-342 normally takes the form of a mass transit ticket for the closest form of mass transportation to its current location. At the moment, it takes the form of a train ticket, departing from transit station. When held by a sentient person for any length of time, it will eventually change form into a transit ticket for a form of transportation that its holder desires to use. The transformation always takes place when not being directly or indirectly observed. No recordings of SCP-342 changing its form exist at this time. Anyone who uses SCP-342 to board a vehicle is unable to exit the vehicle by any means. When the vehicle reaches the end of its route, the one using the ticket will cease to exist in our reality. Any user of this SCP claims to feel extremely paranoid and have an uncomfortable and uncontrollable dread.
That's screwed up.
Them.
That's
Specifically, the way in which they describe their emotions when in contact with the ticket resembles acute paranoid schizophrenia, as all will witness a perception of darkness outside of their vehicle, including a mass amount of fog or the portrayal of night. Witness reports claim that victims mumble to themselves or grow in intense fear of other passengers and the conductor. There have been several experiments with different transportation networks, each yielding different results.
Imagine buying a train ticket and you're actually buying SCP-342.
SCP-610. Object Class Q.
World-ending class.
SCP-610 is a contagious virus
What is that?
that starts out with a small rash, which will then lead to intense itching and skin sensitivity. However,
No,
after
thanks.
3 hours, the skin disease will spread in such a way that skin will begin to scar
No thanks.
and cover in blemishes around the chest and arm region,
Oh god.
completely consuming the affected person
God.
after a full 5 hours of being infected. Following this is the life functions ceasing for a full 3 minutes before starting again at a rate of 2 or 3 times the regular activity rate for a standard human being. This leads to the sprouting of several limbs, like a leg or an arm. The skin disease can affect one in such a way that the head will become so misshapen it will barely be recognizable
Nope.
as being a human.
Nope.
The victim will sit in one place and root itself to the surroundings that it is located in, consuming objects around it with his or her own flesh. The area that SCP-610 affects is close to Lake Baikal in southern Siberia, and it was first reported from the Russian government through undisclosable channels. The reports consisted primarily of disappearances of farmers in the region, and were not considered until local police and government agents failed to report within a 72-hour period. Observation of SCP-610 infected settlements have been established using artificial methods such as remote robots and drones. The data returned from these observations, coupled with the openly aggressive nature of the infected to attempt to spread SCP-610, has resulted in the Keter classification. However, so long as nothing is allowed to enter or leave the infected areas, it is considered to be a neutralized threat.
Nope. Nope. Always when I'm watching such videos and when I get scared, like in those scary games, I always hear kind of
SCP-122.
Weird sounds outside
Object class, Keter.
like I just did.
As
Keter.
strange as it may sound, SCP-122 is a child's nightlight designed to look like a star.
Probably a horrible
This
SCP.
product is unregistered and has no brand name written anywhere on the structure, so it's safe to presume that this nightlight is but an anomaly of its kind. Reports indicate that when it is in an unpowered state, the nightlight will affect anyone within a 500-meter radius of its location. When anyone enters the radius, they will slip into an REM sleep and will be sent into a comatose state until the nightlight has recharged itself. While comatose, subjects will claim that they have seen humanoid figures that are formed from a black, translucent mass of shadow from somewhere around the light. Figures have been described as sentient, with physical properties similar to that of the subject. In a powered state, the of the subject will be affected greatly. Claims have been made that the subjects will have disturbing and psychologically tormenting dreams that have often led to insomnia. SCP-122 was first discovered within the Linnell Children's Hospital on the after several reports of its manifestations reached locally embedded agents. Recovered documents indicate that a patient brought SCP-122 when being admitted. However, no record of the patient's identity has been found. SCP-122 is stored in a standard containment chamber containing a single electrical outlet. Personnel are instructed to routinely monitor SCP-122 at all times and never let it enter an unpowered state. During a breach which caused the death of 17 site personnel, security footage witnessed several maintenance personnel tampering with the SCP-122's chamber lock. When questioned, the subjects claimed that they had done so under duress, saying that a canary was not allowing them to sleep until they released SCP-122. Affected subjects were given Class A anesthetics, and containment procedures have been revised.
That's one dangerous SCP. That's really a dangerous SCP. Wow. If there's a power outage there.
SCP-513. Object Class Euclid. SCP-513 is a simple bell coated in a thick layer of rust. All attempts to remove the rust that engulfs the integrity of the bell have been unsuccessful. Having tested using both chemical measures and mechanical, there are literally no markings or symbols to be seen, so it is impossible to identify the exact origin.
Ew.
Upon SCP-513's discovery, it was also found that the bell's clapper was strapped tightly to one of the interior walls of the thick metal structure using strong industrial tape. Attached to the bell was a piece of paper with the text written on it which read, "You've seen it, now he can hear you. You've touched it, now he can see you. Never ring it. If you hear it, he can touch you."
Okay.
Any sentient being to hear the bell chime shows overt signs of extreme anxiety, with an increased heart rate and blood pressure. After some time, those exposed to the sound claim to catch glimpses of another humanoid sentient being in their peripheral vision. Whenever the exposure victim attempts to look directly at this other being, it simply runs in the other direction, not leaving any traces.
Nope.
Due to the severity of the anxiety caused by the knowledge of this stalking, victims are commonly deprived of sleep and often suffer from clinical depression. Those who are able to fall unconscious state that they are physically assaulted by the stalking being, which flees when the victim awakes. all description taken from several different Foundation personnel, all match the same criteria. A humanoid being with long arms and large hands. This being is not visible to those who have been exposed to the ringing of the bell, which leaves researchers blindsided. SCP-513 is located in a 1 cubic meter block of gelatin and contained within a soundproofed, climate-controlled cell, which is inspected daily for any degradation or loss of integrity.
Nope. Nope. Never. Don't ring that bell.
SCP-035. Object Class Heater. SCP-035 is a white ceramic comedy mask that will often change its appearance to its binary
All these
opposite.
SCPs are
This
nope.
change will also cause its appearance to change in any video footage, photograph, or even artistic depictions created prior to said change to match its new physical appearance. It's been stated that a vicious liquid will constantly leak from its orifices, which has been proven to be corrosive to any material that may come in contact with it, aside from the mask itself. The name of the liquid is unknown and is anomalous in its appearance, being only visible from the front and showing no signs of existence when looking from the back of the mask.
That's weird.
A true fear factor to consider would be the fact that any person to come within 2 meters of the mask will have a strange compulsion to put the mask on. After doing so, the individual will have a different waveform sent through their brain, causing them to become brain dead.
Okay,
However,
this is weird.
the consciousness of SCP-035 is still very much present and will continue to possess and control the actions that the victim makes. In addition to this, SCP-035 has been shown to be very manipulative, being able to corrupt and cause sudden fluctuations to the psychological mindset of any other person within a certain distance of the mask. Subjects have been quoted to say that it has an intimate knowledge of how the human brain works and would be able to change the views of any individual if given enough time. SCP-035 has been found as anything that has a humanoid shape, including mannequins, corpses, and even statues. The subject has been able
That's
to motivate
really
all
weird.
into movement, removing the need to expose live subjects. Personnel within 10 meters of SCP-035 have recently reported feeling unease, stating that they can hear unintelligible whispering. Several others have suffered from severe migraines. The object has been monitored, but there is no change in its dormant behavior, and no sounds have been recorded. SCP-035 is kept within a hermetically sealed glass case, no fewer than 4 inches thick. This case is to be contained within a steel, iron, and lead shielded room at all times. Doors are to be triple locked at all times, with the exception of allowing personnel in or out. Guards remain outside at all times and are not allowed within the containment room under any circumstances.
Okay, that's incredibly weird, guys. This SCP list is amazing, but incredibly weird at the same time. So, we still have 24 minutes to go on this video. But I am going to pause it here, and we are going to go further in the next part, which will be uploaded very soon. I'm happy that you guys wanted to watch this one with me. I really need your support because this is such a scary video, actually. Like, it's just creepy. You get chicken skin all over your body. But anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for sticking with me. And if you like this video, then please like, please comment, and please subscribe to the channel. And then I will see you guys in the next part. HD World out.